So let's imagine that you're doing your project on a financial institution. You've thought about diversification, you've picked a particular business unit, and you know you have to estimate the ROE. And you've calculated the ROE for the individual business unit that you're studying, and you're now trying to figure out, okay, how do I execute on this five forces analysis? How do I do the industry analysis? All right, I want to just offer a couple of thoughts that I hope are helpful if you're doing your project on a financial institution and trying to hone in on exactly how to analyze who the buyers are and the generators of revenue and who the suppliers are, the generators of cost, how to do this analysis so that it comes together in a way that's tractable. The first principle that I'd like for you to consider is that you're looking only at net revenues and net costs to the business unit. You're not trying to follow the dollar and calculate the deposits into this financial institution that you and I might make as customers. So let's imagine, for example, that you're looking at a bank. Let's say you're doing your project on, let me just come up with a bank here, the TD Bank here in Toronto, and you've decided that what you want to do is analyze the deposit business. You want to look at checking and savings accounts, let's say for students in Toronto, okay? Instead of thinking of revenues as including the money that you and I might put in the bank, think of the revenues to the TD Bank in this business as the fee income or the net interest income that the bank earns on those deposits. Okay? That's going to really simplify your conceptualization overall here, because you don't have to keep track of how much money I put in the bank. All you have to keep track of is how much fees that I pay in order to have the service of using the bank. And that example works for all sorts of financial institutions. Let's say I'm taking out a mortgage, I'm a customer of the bank. You don't have to worry about how much money I borrow to buy my house. The key here is to estimate how much money the buyer pays in terms of fees and interest on that mortgage. That allows you to match the costs pretty effectively. The costs then become the real estate, the employee costs, employee salaries, IT, and so on. You don't have to worry about things like the investments or the capital transaction of the bank in order to match the costs with the revenues. This sounds a little bit more complicated maybe in the beginning, but ultimately it really simplifies the analysis if your project's on a financial institution.